Hi, it's Jason Huber with Akkio. Now let's take a look at our Chat Data Prep feature. In the past, in order to do data transformations, you had to know something like SQL, R, or Python. Now SQL is the industry standard for pulling data from relational databases. Structured query language is what it stands for, and it takes a little bit to learn. Inner joins, outer joins, that sort of thing. With Akkio, all of that is possible without taking a second to learn anything about SQL. Now, if you already know SQL, that will help for sure, but you don't need to know it at all. Let's get started. I've uploaded a housing data set. If you look at this, I have price, area, bedrooms, bathrooms, stories, etc. Now, sometimes we want to do some feature engineering, and this doesn't have all the data that I want because I really want to see the average price per area, per square foot, let's say. So I'm going to do Chat Data Prep, and I say create a new column called dollar per square foot using price divided by area. Okay, preview. So what this is going to do is take what I typed in, just the words I typed in the sentence, the semantic search here, and it's going to give me an AI interpretation, divide the price or property. You can read that and create a new column, the data set that shows the cost per square foot for each property. And there we go. We get the new column. If I like what I see, now this top one's a very expensive house, I'm going to hit apply transformation. I don't think that's actually square feet, but that's okay. In about 10 seconds, we get our new field here of dollar square foot. Now I didn't modify the data on the back end. This is only done on the data set that I'm working with within this flow. So now I can say something like this. So I can say, well, now I only want to show, I can't afford that first house. That's way too expensive. I only want to show the houses that are below the average of that new field. So show only houses that are below the average of dollar square foot. And that'll take the entire data set. I don't even have to type that in. I don't have to do any aggregation, no group bys, no halvings, none of that stuff about SQL. So it says filter the data set, show only the houses that are below the average of the price per square foot. So now it limited it down to say, what is the average? I didn't actually find out what that is, but this looks a little bit better. These numbers are a little bit better. Seems like if I look at my chart here that I have a little bit better data. So that's what we want. I'm going to hit apply transform. Now we can do some other fun stuff too. I'll try one that's a little bit more off the wall. Chat Data Prep, and I'll say show only homes that are suitable for a family of 4 and are 1 story. I don't like to walk upstairs. There we go. Filter the data set, only include homes with at least 4 bedrooms and 1 story. So it took what I wanted and it interpreted and filtered the data set. Now, I filtered this data set down a little bit too far. I've removed 98.3% of the rows, so it tells me how far I've limited the data. I probably don't want to keep this one. That's a little too much. So I'll just hit cancel. Now, if I ever want to look at what's been done to this data set, I can always click at the top. And if I go to delete a transform, it's going to tell me that it's going to affect both of them. Now let's see if I want to create maybe a description of each home. So I'll do that. I'll say create a new column writing a description of each home. This makes it easy. That way I can put in the MLS or something like that. It'll give me a nice verbal description of each home, bedrooms, that sort of thing. All right, it says create a new column data set called description. For each row in the data set, create a basically the main road, guest room, basement, hot water heating. So it took all the fields and it says, okay, this is a 2-story home with 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, and 1,300 square feet, etc. So this is pretty good. I think I like this. I'm going to apply the transform. Now, if I want to use this in my MLS listing, or I want to pull it down and use it in some sort of, Zillow listing or something like that, I can just download this data set. It's going to include that column, and I can use that in whatever I want to use it for.